healthy cookbooks. There are so many out there, how do you know which ones are worth actually spending your money on? So for today's video, I thought I would review a book that you may or may not have already heard of and demonstrate some of the recipes so you can get an idea as to whether it's something that you might actually want to try out yourself. The book I'm talking about is not a new one, and it is Clean Eating Alice Eat Well Every Day. And I know she also has a few other books out, but I thought this one would be a good one to start with just because it is Eat Well Every Day. So the first recipe is this citrus roasted veg with goat cheese. Into a tray goes some chopped veggies. So in here you've got some carrot, parsnip, golden beetroot, normal beetroot, and some red onion. Then it's been coated with a dressing. The dressing is basically just raspberry vinegar, olive oil, honey, chili, and orange zest and orange juice. Most of the ingredients for the dressing are really simple and easy to find. The only one that was a little bit difficult was the vinegar because it calls for raspberry vinegar, which is a bit unusual. I actually couldn't find raspberry vinegar, so I just went for strawberry vinegar, and I don't think it would make that much of a difference. So then you just coat the veggies in that and it goes into a preheated oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. I've got a fan oven, so mine is on at about 180. This is the finished product. You can either use it as sort of like a side and have it with something else, or depending on what else you've eaten in that day, you could just have it as a meal on its own. Because it's got a lot of root vegetables, it's actually a really filling meal. I am making a raspberry and coconut loaf. In here I have some ground almonds, desiccated coconut, baking powder, and the zest of 1 lemon, and that just gets all mixed up in this bowl together. With that all mixed nicely, now I will add the wet ingredients. Now the wet ingredients is a bit of a weird concoction. It consists of 1 egg, 2 flax eggs, and honey. Basically I substituted for flax eggs because I didn't have enough eggs. So hopefully this will work out. I'm just going to then put the wet ingredients in with the dry ingredients and mix that together. Once that's all mixed together, you then fold in the raspberries and then dismount that into a greased loaf tin. It goes into the oven. I've put it at about 170. It goes in for about 55 minutes and then take it out, cover it with foil, and it goes back in for another 20 minutes, and that should be it. There we have the finished raspberry loaf. These ones always tend to look a little bit more sort of golden, almost burnt, but I think that's due to the honey. But there we are, the finished loaf. So really it's just a baked sweet potato stuffed with tuna, which has been mixed with lemon juice, tahini, onion, soy sauce, apple cider vinegar, and tarragon, and then seasoned with salt and pepper. I've already had a taste of it and it is pretty good, and pretty much like all of them, really straightforward to make. So what are my overall thoughts on this book? I have to say this was my first time using this book, and I have had it for a little while. But what I did is I picked out 3 recipes that I'd never actually tried before. I think this book is really great for exactly what it says, everyday eating. The recipes are pretty simple to follow. They're generally quite quick. And I think what's really important is that the ingredients used are quite common ingredients. They wouldn't be difficult to find in your everyday supermarket. It's not the kind of book that's asking for some kind of exotic health food that you would need to search high and low for, or that you would need to spend a fortune on. The kind of ingredients that make healthy living feel like it's quite exclusive or just out of reach for the everyday person. I think I should mention that it's not a vegan or a vegetarian recipe book, but having said that, there are vegan recipes included, there are vegetarian recipes included, there are also recipes included for people who do eat meat or do eat fish, which just kind of reiterates what I was saying about it being an inclusive book and suitable for most diets. But of course, if you're somebody who's looking for a book which is entirely vegan or entirely vegetarian, then this might not be the one for you. But having said that, a lot of the recipes are very adaptable. So overall, I would recommend this book, and as I say, I've been using it for quite a while, so I can vouch for the other recipes other than the ones that I demonstrated in this video. I've got quite a few books which I like in my collection, but this seems to be one which I keep gravitating back to. I would particularly recommend this book to people who are maybe not the most experienced in the kitchen, or who are equally just starting to make healthier changes. Whether that be changing towards just cooking more in general, or trying to adapt their cooking to be able to make healthier meals. I think this book would be a really good starting point. Also, at the beginning of the book, there's a small portion about commonly used ingredients and the health benefits, and so basically just a bit of nutrition advice. As always, I really hope this video was helpful and that you'll stay tuned for more in the future.